We gave up. We hit our head against the wall. No one would listen. Why won't they listen? I understand. Why don't they see it? Chris, have you hacked my computer and are reading my book that I'm writing right now called Why You Failed at 2-Second Lean? Because almost everything you're saying right now is addressed in what I'm writing. So I think, first off, I think I cracked. Yeah, so I think it was Felipe got up there. He was talking and it ruffled a ton of people the wrong way. But a lot of it was true. The short answer is it ruffled people the wrong way, but the reason is because the people who are upset aren't applying what fast cap seeding matters and a 2% does. And I believe I've cracked why only 2% get there. And so my current company, in my opinion, is there. We're not in manufacturing, we're in real estate, but I went from 0 to 287 doors in a very short time. So I went from starting a company to retiring and becoming a millionaire in 15 months. Absolutely because of lean principles, the sound lean principles. And I think I'm gonna address something that is basically what you hit, right? So you're talking about the flow difference, right? All the things you're talking about is the tactics. Hey, the gospel preaches lean is about the people, but then we look at application and we're talking about, well, where's all of the improvements through the flow of the company, right? Of the material, of the product. And the short answer to a very long question that's probably creating this faction of two sides of that really it's the Six Sigma side of thinking, which 2-Second Lean people to be very anti, versus the 2-Second Lean style of thinking is as follows. 2-Second Lean, when applied correctly, addresses the cultural issues to get you a culture of obscenely robust. Every person in your company is Chris. Every person in my company is Hugh. Every person in Paul's company is Paul. And it gets you a workforce with near 100% owner mentality employees that then allow you to apply the Six Sigma lean principles with ease. And the people who are struggling are attempting to push lean or the Six Sigma process, product focused improvements on a workforce and culture that do not understand and do not care. And that is the difference. There are two things happening, but everyone's discussing them as if they're one thing. The crux of the matter is, I think after visiting and studying and saying, what are these 2% of companies that follow the lean gospel doing that the rest of the companies are not doing? And I think I cracked that. And basically there's a lean framework, or I call it the short feedback loop. That is the why they are operating at such a high level and they haven't been able to articulate it. And I think I've captured what they're doing. They only see them. I've gone to many places and captured what is working and what's not working and what's everybody doing different. So I think I've solved that. It's only when that is solved that then you can go through and be like, yo guys, Kaizen event. Let's freaking do this right now. When you have your company, everyone embraces change, everyone understands what's going on, everyone can talk through a problem at a high level, a very detailed level. That right there is the magic. Seeding Matters, Fast Cap, Cambridge Engineering Solutions has a extremely bought-in culture of very motivated, ownership-minded employees. And so they can either instantaneously, without ownership and leadership help, get everything going. They are possibly doing it the flow without the ownership. And the companies that are sucking, which included me until I figured it out, was I understood lean at a very deep level and I was trying to implement it myself. Or me and the 4 people at the top of the company understood it at a very deep level and we tried to implement it ourselves through blood, sweat, tears. We gave up. We hit our head against the wall. No one would listen. Why won't they listen? I understand. Why don't they see it? My workforce understands lean on a surface level. They get the small, nice improvements. But why after 18 months? After a year? Why after 5 years? Does my team not get it still at a deep level, at a true level? And the reason is because they don't have 2-Second Lean implemented, so they can't get the actual product changes they want. That's number one. Number two, the reason that probably 2-Second Lean isn't operational is because they aren't actually following 2-Second Lean to the T like it was described, like it was requested, because they either tried to outsmart the system or they don't have the balls or ovaries to make it happen, to say, if you don't want to do this on Monday, there's the door. But we're going to do this if you want to work here. And Chris, right there is the crux of the issue. There are two major things going on. They take a horse and they beat another horse to death with lean is about the people, lean is about the people, lean is about the people. But then people are like, owners are like, oh, but that has nothing to do with the product. Good. They nailed the people so they can do whatever the hell they want. Now that that's established, we can then talk about Kaizen events. We talk about Kachos and Twitter ring. I had a very big conversation with Brad Karnes, Best Damn Doors, and he had a very similar opinion to you. He was like, Toyota, they don't stop the line every day. They can't just have people running around making improvements. And it's more structured than that. But when they do it, you also touched around it, they won't implement a change unless it cuts the waste in half. Well, what are we talking about there? Everyone is practicing those small repetitions. I'm practicing problem solving skills. All of my team members can engage in critical thinking, have really good problem solving skills, and have an ownership mentality and buy-in. They get that from the morning routine and framework. Then, when we go do a Kaizen event, we've got a team who has a give a shit level and the skills, and they're the ones doing the work. They're the most qualified to do the change. More qualified than me at the top, who see things from a global level. They might know it closer to what is necessary. But most people struggle with is they try to jump to that, but they don't have the people bought in. And they're two different things. And that's the failure point. I'm not as good with tact time. I'm not as good with cycle times. I understand kitting, but at an extremely high level, a lot of that doesn't matter, because if you can fix your people, you can then back out and say, good, connect the work. Cool. This department, we connected the work inside the department. When you really want to make money, you connect the two departments. You connect three departments. In China, we went and we eliminated basically one department because we took the tasks and blended them between two other departments. Instead of stopping the work, batch. Department A into a batch, Department B starts it into the batch, Department C starts it from a batch into a batch. We said, no, from the beginning, go straight through the process. Flow. You cannot do that without a workforce that is bought in, because there will be a mutiny. How do I know? I had a mutiny and they went over my head to get it stopped. And then I had to reassess and reteach and retrain. Owners and leadership is like, yeah, lean, I got it. I don't believe in the 2-second lean gospel. It's about the product and the flow. You're damn right it is. But you can either do it yourself extremely painfully for the next forever and then never take a vacation and never take a break, or you can imprint, you can clone yourself. Chris, what if everyone at your company right now was Chris? Every single one of you is Chris. Then you can implement whatever the hell changes you want. That's what true 2-second lean does. I think I cracked the code on what FastCap is doing differently, what Seating Matters is doing differently. Actually, I personally think there's a small tweak to Seating Matters that we can tweak that will actually get them even better results. That's the framework. When your people are there, then you can do whatever changes you want. Then you can do your Kaizen event. And I say all of those things, having done a massive Kaizen event that brought cycle times from 22 days to 3 hours, had a waste factor that was astronomical, that saves that company $7 million a year, every year, forever, because we did a massive Kaizen event that cost us $20,000 to rewire stuff and rerun plumbing lines and have gas lines. And I'm going to tell you that that is not as impactful as getting true 2-second lean up and operational, where I don't have to babysit it. Company's moving forward on its own, because we can do 1,000 Kaizen events from now on. It's far more important that most of the ideas came from the people, because we got them trained on it. Then the flow. The flow is the bottom dollar. The culture is what keeps the company alive, with little to no effort from the leadership team. It's crazy. In short, my opinion is you need both. More importantly, if you don't want to be a slave to your company, you gotta get 2-second lean properly up and going. And I think I figured out how to get more than just 2% of companies to do it. Now, once that is established, then you can transition your sights on radically destroying your waste, right? Radically destroying your waste. There's a company that I'm helping right now. They have 172 employees, about to do 2-second lean for the first time. When 172 people get it like a deep level, then they can just overnight do it. I don't know if you've ever seen my YouTube Lean Summit 2019 talk, but for 18 months, I was the slave. And then in 1 month, we turned the entire factory around. And that was the difference.